Welcome to today's episode of Did She Really Say That? This podcast is disrupting the world of business education and breaking down barriers for women entrepreneurs. During our podcast, you might find yourself saying, did she really say that? Because things just kind of drop out of our mouths sometimes. We're challenging the traditional methods of business training so that women can have more fun, play, and ease as they learn to unlock their millions. We created Truth Bomb Marketing to help business women create more time, money, and with a simple business playbook so they can create millions without sacrificing what's important to them. Hi, I'm Heidi, and I spent the last 17 plus years homeschooling my kids. And what I love about what Truth Bomb is creating is that women, whatever we do is all inside of our lives. And how do we incorporate our business so that it doesn't overwhelm our lives, but it becomes an asset and something positive that is in your family, it's in your children's lives, it's in your life. So that's what we're creating here inside Truth Bomb Marketing, this business that you actually thrive and love and that you continue to go with so that you are creating your millions.
Hi, I'm Chef Katrina. I am also one of the co-founders here at Truth Bomb Marketing Academy. We are. I have been in the world of entrepreneurship for a little over 15 years. I started my journey way back before that. But I love the world of business education. I'm fascinated by how money moves, how systems are put together, and how companies go from an idea to a multi-million-dollar business. So what I bring to this academy is I bring that passion and drive for simplification of systems and for you to be able to grow and sustain the profitability of your company, because that is key. Why else are you in business? We want you to own your business, not be owned by your business.
Yeah. And I'm Karen Angeli. I spent a lot of my entrepreneurial journey working too hard, and I got tired of doing that. So I'm here for the fun. I'm here to help women get back to the fun, get back to why they like to do what they do. And along that note, I want to talk about something that we talked about yesterday inside of Truth Bomb Academy, because I feel like this is incredibly important and I want to kind of continue to highlight it. So
hey, you didn't tell us what we're talking about. You're just going to jump right into this?
Yeah, I'm gonna, because I'm really excited about talking about this kind of stuff. So you sit back for a second.
No forewarning whatsoever.
No forewarning at all. Wow.
This is
wow.
Left field.
Just, okay.
Yeah, so this is what's happening. So you're welcome.
Fantastic.
So yesterday we had a member inside of our community, and she was just like, listen, I don't feel like I know who I am anymore. I feel like I've been doing the do with social media for so long, and I just I don't know what I want to do anymore. And she also said that she watched some of her social media after she created her videos for social media, and she's like, I don't feel the love and compassion that I am, and I'm like, how do I get that back? And one thing that I started doing years ago that served me really well, every time I post on social media, is that I actually spend time with my heart and with my breath. And when I explained that to her, and I'm like, listen, if this doesn't work for you, I'm here for it.
Can we unpack that before you give away the tool? Can we unpack and have a little discussion on how women are feeling this way? And then I want you to share that, because this is really key, what you're about to share.
Yeah.
I feel like we need to have a little bit of a discussion, because I don't feel like she's the only one.
Oh.
Like she's in the to-do.
Yeah.
So I think what's interesting, when we talk about this, and especially with her, and I've seen this so many times with other female entrepreneurs specifically, is that I remember coaching this conversation with them. This was bad. I'm telling you right now, I had no idea how destructive I was going to be to female entrepreneurs by this mentality. But I remember sitting in a lot of coaching calls and would sit there with this sheet and be like, okay, how many posts did you post this week? Are you posting daily? Are you doing this, trust and know and sell method? Are you on 24/7, or have you done your video? I was just in this pushing mode of doing for women, right? And I literally they had a checklist off of there. And what was interesting is that I worked with both men and women, and I had more women come back to me out of the majority of them. And I was averaging quite a few calls. I don't want to give you guys the numbers, but it was a significant amount of coaching calls per month. Significant. I don't recommend that many to anybody. But the interesting thing is that when I checked in, when I checked in once a month with everybody, because that was part of our protocol, it was usually the women that could not sustain the method of operation that was being given, and that I was literally perpetuating for them. And I thought I was doing great. I thought I had this great check-in chart, and I was asking all the questions, and I'm like, how many followers do you have? And, you know, you should be seeing conversions by now. And the women were struggling. I'm not going to lie. I didn't realize how badly they were struggling until you kind of look back on what you've done as a coach. Right. And I think that's a really big piece, is looking back and even watching the women years later and seeing who still survived that type of marketing mentality that we were teaching. And it wasn't just me teaching it. It was an industry-wide digital marketing space. So I'm curious, because I look back and I saw a lot of women that were no longer in the space. They weren't marketing anything anymore. They literally left everything. They went back and got a job. That was easier than being an entrepreneur. That was easier than becoming a digital marketer and learning how to market a business. Now, I know, Heidi, you kind of went through that same experience. Do you have anything to share about that experience of learning how to market?
Well, yeah, because I was learning how to market that. I was also homeschooling my kids. I was also working on a lot of different projects because we were flipping real estate. And so there was a lot going on in my life. And it's like, how do you, that type of mentality, that type of, you have to be posting, because it wasn't even just once a day. It was 3 times a day. And it was the to-do list never, you think your housework to-do list never ends. Talk about that type of marketing strategy. It's like the to-do list it's like I would spend my entire Saturday scheduling everything so that I didn't, so it's like so I could do other stuff during the week. And it was eating me up inside that I spent my entire Saturday doing that instead of doing activities with my kids or doing different things. Saturdays was supposed to be was a fun day, used to be. And then, but it's like how many Saturdays I wasted just staring at my computer because I had that mentality of, if it didn't get done, if I didn't have something out on my business every single day, that I wasn't building my business. It was just stagnant, and it was rough. It was I quit, I don't know how many times. And it was but it was at the same time, I have that entrepreneur, when you truly do have a desire for that business, that drives you to, because it's something that it's a passion in you. But it's I think for me, it was figuring out how that passion, I want that passion to come out. Because I think it's I got stuck into a business that I wasn't passionate about, but I was convinced it could create the business that I wanted. But it's I think so often women get caught up in the idea of the business, the idea of what the business can be, instead of what you're actually doing. And for me, I got caught up in the community and what everybody was doing, because it was a community and it was a nice community. The people in there were wonderful, and I loved being with them, so much so that I almost did it just to be part of the community. But it wasn't a business that I was passionate about. And I think when I got more into personal development, when I actually discovered who I wanted to be in the world, that's when it's business became fun. Business became who I wanted it to be. And actually I'm growing it the way it feels good in me. It feels good in my soul. It feels good in my spirit. And when it feels good in your soul and your spirit, it's not a drudgery to do it.
It's so interesting, and I'll let you jump in, Karen, on this one too. But everybody that's come through Unlocking My Millions has been through a burnout phase. They are in a phase where they still want to build the business, but they are struggling with their identity. they have had the experience of sitting for 10 to 12 hours in front of a computer in the doing of business, right? Which is taking out the joy. It's literally sucking the joy out of your life. And they're like, I don't even know what it's like to step outside. Like my family, my husband, my children, my wife are, for the women, it's all their husbands, and their wives. And it's really interesting to see how they feel so disconnected because of the mental and the state of marketing that they've been taught for their business. But we go into business to do something so different. We want to go in and impact and make changes, right? We do. I have yet to meet a female that doesn't say, I'm doing this because I just need a break from my 9 to 5 and I want to do something differently. I have women that say this, was an upset in my family, so I built this company, or I'm doing this because I want to help more people. Like there's just a compassion behind women's approach to business. And when you go through a marketing mentality that I feel is very masculine in deliverability, it's hard to stay in that feminine energy. It's hard to stay in that creative, that empathetic state and compassionate state when you're told to compete and go after leads instead of build relationships, which is what makes most sense to us and actually feels good for all of us. But then this ties back into some things that Karen's about to share with you, because it is important in marketing that you have your true voice. And I feel like the method that's out there doesn't allow women, and I think the word that was used yesterday was permission. I finally have permission to be me. It's like, that was one of the biggest words. And when you hear that fall out of a woman's mouth, right? I finally feel like I have permission to do something. You recognize how much of a box we're in and how much we feel like we have to have permission to live our lives. And that's one of the things that we talk about inside of Unlocking My Millions, is that you have so much permission to do whatever you want. And you've had it this whole time. We're just going to show you how to really discover that for yourself.
Yeah. And I want women to unlock the realization that they can give themselves permission. Because when I tell you that you have permission, it's totally different from if you realize. It's more empowering when you realize for yourself, oh yeah, I can do what I want because it's my freaking business. And this is something that I learned along the way, that no matter who my mentor was, no matter who was pouring into me, what they were giving me, they were just guidelines. What is that in Pirates of the Caribbean? It's just guidelines. Like at the end of the day, like what they're sharing with you, yeah, that's what helped them or what's helped other people. But at the end of the day, if you stick to it so closely and you're not seeing results, it's okay to go, yeah, that's not working for me. And that's what happened with me, because I can't tell you how many times in my business I have had mentors along the way that are like, oh, you're doing everything right, just keep going. And it's like, yeah, but something's not working, because literally I was that person that would sit on a call with someone like Katrina and they would go through the checklist and they'd be like, oh, you did everything. Yeah, I know I did everything. So now what? And they would stare at me like I had 10 heads, because it's like, well, I don't know what to tell you other than just keep going. Like, that's not helpful. So that's what makes what I'm about to share, I feel like, so empowering for a lot of women, is that sitting with yourself, giving yourself permission and not having someone else have to give you permission is really empowering and really freeing. So one of the best books that I read about this whole concept of sitting with yourself, asking yourself questions, getting whatever first comes to mind and writing it down as the answer. This book is called The Road Less Stupid by Keith Cunningham. And he goes through this process of telling you, listen, if you're feeling stuck, I'm sorry, but your mentor can't help you. Your best friend can't help you. Your neighbor can't help you. Only you can help you. You have all the answers inside of you. Period. End of story, guys. Period. End of story. It is more empowering when you get the answer inside of you instead of looking outside of you for the answer. So when you go to read this book, The Road Less Stupid, I highly recommend that you do a lot of the things that he shares with you to do. He tells you, sit in a quiet room, grab a notebook, grab a pen, and ask yourself questions about your business. Ask yourself things like, okay, what can I do that would be more effective in my marketing? What can I do that would be more effective for my videos? The first thing that comes to mind, write it down. And what I continue to do is I will kind of write out and journal out, okay, like I will write out until I feel like the thought's complete. And then I move to the next question. What's the next question that I have that I want an answer to? Then you actually are giving yourself the answer. Instead of looking to someone else to always give you an answer, to always feed you, let's get some empowerment for ourselves. Let's sit with ourselves for a minute and experience what do I want. I feel like this is something that was talked about last night as well, where it was like people, especially women, feel like we have to worry about everybody else around us, take care of everyone else around us, but we forget to ask ourselves, what do I want? What do I want in my life? What do I want to do? And it keeps us stuck, and it keeps us disempowered, because at the end of the day, we don't really know who we are. And it's really upsetting and saddening to me. So one of the things, and this is what we talked about last night in our training, one of the things that I learned to do years ago, anytime I do any kind of social media post, is I sit with myself and I sit with my heart and I sit with my breath for a few in and out. Okay. So I would generally do box breathing, which is basically inhale 5 seconds, hold for 5 seconds, exhale 5 seconds, and then hold again for 5 seconds. It's like a box if you think about it like that. So I would spend time breathing and focusing on my heart doing that. Well, recently I actually learned that one of the simplest ways to get your parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous system back in balance. This is your nervous system, okay? This is what I'm like. We're going to get a little scientific here for a second, but
go sciencey, go sciencey.
One of the simplest ways to get your nervous system back in place is just to inhale for 5 seconds and exhale for 5 seconds. The inhale is stimulating your sympathetic nervous system, which is your let's get up, let's get motivated, let's do this. It can, if it's out of balance, be your fight or flight. Your sympathetic can be your fight or flight. But when you balance it with your parasympathetic, which is your I'm calm, I'm safe, things are good, your exhale is that parasympathetic. So when you do the inhale for 5 seconds and exhale for 5 seconds, and you do rounds of that for at least 5 rounds, you're rebalancing your nervous system. And when you focus on a feel-good intention and you feel good in your heart, you start to reset your nervous system before you jump onto a video, before you jump onto a podcast, before you post anything on social media. You create a feel-good intention around what you're about to do, and it changes the whole vibe. And one of the things that I wish more people would do is this: get themselves into a healthy, high vibe, I feel good right before I post. It would take away a lot of like the negative that we see on social media, the rants, all that stuff. People would go, I was going to post a rant, but I don't feel like I want to do that anymore because I feel so good.
Yeah. Who's that serving by me ranting about it? Come on.
Yeah, anyone. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, but I feel like this is one of the most empowering things that female entrepreneurs can do for themselves is sit quietly with themselves and ask themselves, okay, how do I want to feel as I'm doing this video or this post or whatever? Yeah. And then how can I portray that?
Yeah. And even to tie into that is because the feeling of marketing is about providing a solution, support, help out there around your product to somebody else. Mm-hmm. So it's also when you get into that state, you're looking at how am I help? Like, who needs to hear this today? That was another piece that I always looked at when I looked at my marketing. Who needs to hear this? Because it also set the intention of like, whatever I'm about to share, it's going to be heard or land a certain way for somebody. Right. And the thing is like, if you put out really good marketing in your business, you stand out from everybody else. right? When you have a high vibe, good intention, feeling good, totally calm about what you're going to share, man, that energy, we talked about it last night inside the training, that energy is felt. It is like received through either your podcast or your video or your post. Like all of that is just comes pouring right out. Trust me. You'll feel it.
Yep. And your audience feels it too. That's what the most important piece of the puzzle is.
Yep.
Because when you look at your content and you go, I don't know who that girl is, you're missing something.
Neither does your audience.
Yeah, something's missing in that equation because you don't feel whole in whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
And so your audience now is lost and they don't know who you are.
Yeah.
They don't know if they can trust you.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because we're built in a culture, and I go back to like the permission-based, like there's actually something called permission-based marketing, right? Which is asking permission to send somebody information, right? That was a key term that was coined. This happened really much around email marketing. You ask for permission-based marketing is really came up around the email marketing because you don't want to just spam people. You actually want to get their permission to email them, right? So that permission-based marketing was more about coming at it as somebody of service. And if they accept your request to serve, send them something and everything else, then that was acceptable, right? When we talked with our members and they're saying, I finally have permission to be me, they are discovering that permission for themselves. We are definitely not giving them permission.
We couldn't ever give them permission. No. That's the thing.
Yeah. They really are like, I now have permission, and they're discovering that, like you said, Karen, they're discovering that for themselves, right? They're discovering that it's okay to do whatever they want to do because that fits their brand, that fits who their audience is, and that fits what they're up to with their business, right? And I always thought it was funny because I remember being in conversations with students and saying, I give you permission. And I literally would have to say that out loud. And I would say, I give you permission to do whatever the flock you want, right? Like, go screw it up. Like, and then when you look at it, though, and I started looking back at my corporate career. And in corporate career, we always had to ask permission for just about everything. I got to go to the bathroom. Can I go? I need to go on lunch break. Can I go? I'm serious. Like, these were like legit. Even today in the classroom that I'm teaching, I still have, can I go to the bathroom? Like, they're still asking permission to do what they have to do, right? Which is go to the bathroom. Like, why would I keep them in the classroom if they've got to go? Like, let them go, kind of a thing, right? But we have this control mentality of wanting people to ask us for things. But the reality is like, you've got to serve yourself first. Whether you're the marketer in business or the person receiving it, it's going to be ultimately up to you and how you receive the gift. And then it's ultimately up to the business and the marketer to give the gift, right? But this whole permission base is that we ask for permission for everything in our corporate lives. And we have so many corporate people that join the world of entrepreneurship and they don't know how to break the permission. I remember when I left my corporate career as a chef, I remember sitting at home. I don't know if either, Karen, if you've experienced this yet, but it's like, I just remember I've always had to ask for time off, right? Because especially in the culinary industry, holidays are always a big thing, right? So getting holidays off, it was like, are you single? Do you have family? And these were questions that were actually talked about in there, because if you had family, you got the morning off for Christmas. If you didn't have family, you were usually there working because you didn't have any family. Like, it was really a messed up conversation around how we schedule things, right? But the thing is like, we were always asking permission. And I just remembered when I left the industry, when I retired from the industry, in my first year as an entrepreneur, I'm sitting at home and I wanted to go somewhere. Like, I really wanted to take like a 3-day road trip and leave. And I was like, I felt like I had to ask somebody's permission because it's been ingrained in so long, 12, 15, 20 years of my life have been asking permission from job to job to do something. And all of a sudden I have the freedom to do whatever I want. Right. But there was still that mental, you guys talk about the elephant that's got like the wrist thing on there, that stake to the ground, but doesn't have the stake anymore, but still feels like they can't move because once that thing is on there, the mental block.
Yep.
man, unplugging that was difficult. I just remember like I actually had to call my mom and be like, can I like weirdly I was like, can I leave my house and go for 3 days without telling somebody something? Like it was that such a bizarre feeling. So I recognize that when we talk to female entrepreneurs, some of that mentality is still ingrained for us. That sense of, yes, I want this freedom. And if you've come from any type of corporate or business an employee mentality, it is hard. That is one area that majority of us women and human beings struggle with, is let going of that requesting for permission and just doing what you want to do instead of being told what to do.
For me, it was definitely like freedom, because I hate being told what to do. Like, don't hate me because I'm beautiful, but I hate being told what to do. Like, literally, it's not for me at all. And so, like, for me, anytime I've done anything in anesthesia, I friggin' hate it. When an anesthesiologist feels like they need to tell me as a nurse anesthetist, like, you have to do it this way. And it's like, okay, we can take, like, I'll take your advice, like, if it makes sense, but sometimes it doesn't make sense. So you're not going to be in the room. So I'm going to do what I like to do because I've been doing this for a while too. So at the end of the day, like, look at your business as a way to be free. Yeah. Not to be, like you said, Katrina, tied down. Yeah. With that little anklet of hell.
Yes.
And let me give a little backstory on this too. Like, as an elephant that's trained in the circus is actually, as a baby, put on one of those little anklets to keep them from leaving, right? So they're trained as a baby. This is a little inhumane in my opinion, but this is what they do to train elephants, okay? So as a baby, they're put and they're bolted to the floor, right? The baby will scream and kick and try and get away as much as they can, but they can't get away. So much so that at a certain point, that baby stops pulling and they finally just give up and they, okay, I guess this is my life. I guess this is my reality. And so they up to even adulthood, all you have to do is to put a little stake in the ground, and this adult elephant could easily pull it out. But they're not going to, because they remember there's a circuitry in their brain that says, I can't get out of this. I'm stuck forever. So I want, like, this is a really big, like, mindset piece also. Like, I can't miss over this.
No, it's huge.
What in your life, what in your business is a stake in the ground that you could easily pick up and walk away from? And this is something that all of us have in some way, shape, or form. Absolutely. And when you can look at it and go, I'm tired of feeling this way. I'm tired of feeling like I can't either pay for things. I'm tired of feeling like I have to do things the way somebody tells me to. I'm tired of whatever it is for you. Insert here. When you get to the point where you have so much, I'm done feeling this way. I'm not here for it anymore. And you realize you can pull that stake out at any time. There is so much freedom in that moment for you as a business owner. So pick up your stake and walk away, because you can. You can do and create whatever you want in this life. You can be whatever personality, whatever persona, whatever anything you want to be, you can be that.
Yeah. Not even picking up the stake, unlock the cuff.
Yeah.
Unlock it, let it go. Let that weight that's on you, let it go. And that's the beautiful thing that we're absolutely seeing inside of Unlocking My Millions. Women are literally walking out of this training and into the community with this whole new sense of lightness.
Yeah.
Like you can physically see people do that, but they're like, wow, I don't have to do this anymore, right? Like, and whatever this is that they've been doing, they're like, oh, this feels so much better. Yeah, that's how it's supposed to be when you build a business. And the thing is you shouldn't be stuck in your marketing, and everyone tells you, and it's not a lie, that, marketing does generate the revenue. but you have to enjoy your marketing process. And what you don't enjoy, you learn to outsource.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You learn to find other people that, like, we have a good friend of ours, loves the organization, loves the systematic approach to everything. Dear God, I will bring her full arms in every single time to do that kind of thing. Right? You will find women that love to do what you do not find joy in.
Yeah.
So if you don't find joy in it, then this is where, like, we start talking into the training for next week, collaboration and networking. Because if you don't find the joy in what you're doing and you're feeling like this cuff is around you, dragging you down, and we're telling you to unlock it, what does it look like to ask somebody for help? Because this is key, women. Asking for help is totally okay, right?
One of the things I've started saying to myself when I realize that I'm in a cycle of not wanting to ask for help is I start, like, when I notice, because you have to notice the thought first. If you don't notice it, you can't do anything about it. But when I notice, instead of being like, oh God, like I have all these things to do, I could instead go in that moment, wait a minute, isn't it wonderful that there are so many people in this world that have offered me help before? Wouldn't it be great if I could connect with somebody right now that would help me with XYZ problem? Or, like, in the case where we are, isn't it wonderful that I have two awesome business partners that I don't have to do everything for? I know when we first got together, I remember we sat down and we had this list of things that we had to do, and I had massive overwhelm. And I was like, I can't do all of that. That's making me feel sick right now. And then it was like, oh, wait a minute, I don't have to do all that. I don't have to do all that because there's two other people that are supporting me. Like, at the end of the day, like, find the support that you need and lean into it and accept it as well.
And I think women are breaking a lot of boundaries and a lot of barriers and preconceived notions, because I know we have a really good group of friends, that 5 females that got together and did something that was totally unprecedented in their industry, right? 5 women coming together and just they're doing everything they were told they couldn't or shouldn't be able to do, right? Oh, we've been told women are catty, we're combative, we're this, we're that. You know what? That's been put on us, and it's not something we have to wear or even own, right? So don't let the media or the people out there tell us how women do things, because I will tell you, women are incredible when we get together. We create movements unlike anything you've ever seen. And so the collaboration is what we're saying. Reach out to other women, reach out to other entrepreneurs that were in areas that where you feel like you're not great in, and be okay asking for that, right? It's not about control at this point. It's more about the collaboration and the growth that everybody experiences. I think we were talking about this the other day. We talk about how it's mastery, right? So, like, together everyone's achieves mastery, this sense that, like, when you build your team, everyone's going to master this. And we're like, no, I like miracles. I think when women come together, we truly create some amazing miracles in the world, because we allow ourselves to feel that compassion, and that beauty, that grace that comes back into our marketing is such, and even our business and even in our finances, all of that is such a beautiful thing to be a part of. And that's been a lot of fun, honestly. I like it. I like it. Yep. We don't have to do anything on our own anymore.
No, nor should we. No one person, man, woman, or child was created to do life completely on their own. We are literally connected. Like, literally, you can't see it. It's not on a physical plane that you can see it, but we're literally connected. So what would make it okay for you to be an island of yourself when you actually are truly connected with all these other amazing individuals in this world?
Well, thank you so much for listening to our podcast. If you love us, give us 5 stars. 5, like,
or 10, 5, 10,
1 or 10. Yeah. Okay. So it helps us to get our message out and to support more women who are unlocking their millions. If you haven't already, ladies, grab your Female Millionaire Code, the 3 M's to create in the life and business of your dreams. And to learn more, head over to truthbombmarketing.com/code. And we will see you until next week. We'll see you inside our community. See you later.